New Hope Lutheran Church and Pastor Charlie's Toolbox. Well, you caught me at a bad time because today I'm faced with a bit of a problem, which I know isn't new to any of you that have been watching this. I've been doing some work on this machine here, and a nut fell down into a dark crevice, and I want to get it back. So the first thing I got to do is find the nut. How do I find it? Well, the most obvious way is to get a light to shine down in there. So I brought one, and let me show you. So this one, it's got a light like this, so I can shine down in there. If I want to find something a little bit wider or broader, it's got a light like this. That works pretty good. It also has a magnetic base, so if I've got something metal to hold it on, it'll just stick to that. I got another light too. I think I'll prefer for this job because it's smaller and it'll fit in there a little bit. And this one, it gives you a nice bright light, a not so bright light, a flashing light if you like to work to disco, and it's got a red light there and a white light there. And of course, it's all on a flexible gooseneck, so you can put it any way you want. So let's just take a look down there, and oh yeah, there it is, right there. I can see it, so all I got to do is put my arm in there and get it. I'm not having a lot of luck here because my hand doesn't fit in there. So, I've got a problem here. Again, I can see what I'm after, but I can't get to it. Lucky for me though, I do have something you might remember, my magnetic extension arm. So, I can use the light to look in there and see it, and I can use this to grab it. So, we'll just, oh, magnets sticking to everything metal in there. But I got the nut. So that works pretty good. What this shows us is that light is very important in our lives. I mean, can you imagine a world without any light? I'm pretty sure we couldn't even exist without it. And the Bible is filled with lots of imagery of light and darkness, and quite often it equates darkness with evil and light with good. As an example of that, Jesus calls us to the light of God's love in our gospel lesson for today right here from John 3 verses 14 to 21. In that lesson, Jesus points out that a lot of people live in some kind of darkness because they know they've done evil in some way, but they're afraid to admit it for whatever reasons. So they do what they can to keep their evil hidden in darkness because light will only expose it. Kind of like this nut was exposed once I shone the light down into that crevice. Something we don't often realize is that the whole point of Jesus coming to earth was not simply to bring enough light to expose our sin, and he says as much in these verses, but more importantly, Jesus came to erase that sin so that we can live in light instead of hiding in the dark. By confessing our sins to God, we can rid ourselves of oppressive darkness, the sins that hold us back, and we can move ahead in life and faith. Living in the light I have to tell you, it has its benefits, although it doesn't mean that life won't have its challenges. We are still going to have difficulties. The difference, though, is that living in the light provides us with a lot of tools to handle life's challenges. It's kind of like when, even after I found the nut there because of the light, I couldn't get to it on my own. There's a challenge there, but I had a tool to help me get it out. So having tools to help us through troubling times is just one benefit of living in the light of Christ. So, living in the forgiving light of Christ becomes a joyous experience. And it's joyous because we have nothing to hide. There's nothing that requires our excess energy to cover something up. And, on top of that, we are given tools to help us in times of trouble. So I encourage you to live your life in the light and erase any darkness that holds us down. And by living in such light, who knows what treasures you will find.